shifted perceptibly. If Adam was the morning sun and Jeff was a fluorescent bulb, the man entering now was a disco ball spinning in a laser show. Russell Dunbar. He didn't walk, he sauntered. He wore a suit that cost more than Jeff's car, and his hair was styled with enough product to withstand a hurricane. Russell was a man who had never heard the word no, or if he had, he assumed it was the start of a negotiation. "Hey, what's up, Kong?" Russell greeted Jeff, sliding into the booth. Jeff sighed. "Whatever it is that makes you feel safe enough to call me names like that, should've." Russell ignored the threat. He looked at Adam, scanning his casual attire with a sneer of elite disapproval. "Hey, nice outfit, 9 to 5. You're certainly dressed to make 70% of what a man in your position would make." Adam blinked, processing the insult. "You should know, you're 70% of a man." Jeff snorted into his coffee. Russell paused, his mouth twitching. "Well, that backfired nicely. All right, scooch." He nudged Adam over, claiming an excessive amount of booth space for one slender man. Once settled, Russell leaned in, his usual arrogance replaced by a rare flicker of insecurity. He looked between Jeff and Adam, his eyes wide. "I've got a question, you guys. Do you think I'm pale?" "Yes," Jeff said immediately. "You're almost clear," Adam added helpfully. Russell frowned, checking his reflection in the back of a spoon. "Why do you ask?" Jeff inquired, knowing the answer would likely be ridiculous. "Well," Russell began, launching into his narrative with theatrical hand gestures. "Because there's a school near the newsstand where I usually buy the Times, right?" "You read the Post," Jeff corrected. "Well, can I just tell the story?" Russell snapped. "Anyway, there's a new teacher looking over recess, and as you know from my MySpace page, I have a thing for teachers." "You have a thing for all women," Jeff said. "Not all," Russell protested, then reconsidered. "Okay, all. Anyway, so today we make a little eye contact. She gives me a little smile, and I walk over to break the ice, and some, jerk starts insulting me out of nowhere. Threw off my game." Jeff leaned back, amused. Russell's game was usually impervious to external factors. "Okay, well, who was it? Another teacher?" "No, I don't think it was a teacher." "No? Ah, the principal? A custodian?" "Nah," Russell muttered, looking down at the table. "It was a punk." "A punk?" Adam asked. "What, one of the children?" Russell stayed silent. "Was he bigger than you?" Jeff pressed, a grin spreading across his face. "What?" "It's a valid question," Adam defended. Russell finally looked up, defensive and agitated. "Look, I'll give you who is smaller-ish, but quite mean. Called me things like Milkface, Albino Boy, Casper," said the pigment factory called, and my application was denied. Jeff burst out laughing. "Pigment factory? That's a good one." Yeah, Russell said bitterly. "You could have also said, 'Hey, look, it's a little powdered donut hole.' That was a sweet pep talk." "Thank you," Jeff said sarcastically, signaling the waitress for the check. "I feel so much the same." Chapter 2. The Touch. Later that afternoon, the sunlight filtered through the blinds of Jeff and Audrey's apartment, illuminating dust motes dancing in the air. The apartment was a comfortable mix of Audrey's taste, tasteful throws, art prints, and Jeff's existence, a large television, a dedicated spot on the couch. Jeff and Adam were engaged in a struggle of man versus furniture. The couch had been moved for cleaning Audrey's idea, naturally, and now needed to return to its rightful place on the rug. "Hey, Jeff!" Audrey walked in, looking at the two men heaving the heavy sofa. "Hey, you had him here?" "No, he's helping Russell deal with a bully," Jeff grunted, adjusting his grip. "My money's on the bully." Adam laughed. "Nice sweatsuit," he told Jeff. The outfit was a mismatched gray ensemble that screamed, "I have given up on impressing anyone today. You look like you should be hanging outside the meat store with Polly and Silvio." "Thanks," Jeff deadpanned. He tossed a bundle of fabric at Adam. "Here's Adam's sweatshirt. No face hole, no hood. Other than that, it's perfect." "Hey, while I have you, will you help me put the couch back on the rug?" Jeff asked. "Yeah, sure, glad to help." They lifted. It was a standard maneuver, a pivot and drop they had performed a dozen times. But as Jeff lowered his end, a sharp electric jolt shot through his upper back, radiating up his neck. "Oh!" Jeff dropped the couch and grabbed his shoulder, wincing. "What happened?" Adam asked, alarmed. "Oh, nothing. Just a little twinge in my shoulder." Jennifer, who had been in the kitchen with Audrey, walked out drying her hands on a towel. She saw Jeff grimacing. Her professional instincts kicked in. Before meeting Adam, she had dabbled in various wellness professions. "Oh, I'm so sorry," she said, moving toward him. "Let me massage it, see if I can loosen it up." Jeff took a step back, holding up a hand. "I'm not a big people touching me guy." This was an understatement. Jeff Bingham treated his personal space like a demilitarized zone. Unauthorized entry was strictly prohibited. "I studied massage," Jennifer insisted, stepping into the zone. "I know what I'm doing." Still touching," Jeff said, trying to maneuver away, but he was backed against the armchair. "Come on, I insist," Jennifer said, her tone brook no argument firm. "All right, sure. Give it a shot," Jeff relented, mostly to make the conversation stop. Jennifer moved behind him. Her hands, surprisingly strong, found the junction of his neck and shoulder. She dug her thumbs in. "Ah." Jeff let out a noise that was half pain, half relief. "Oh, here's the problem," Jennifer said clinically. "There's a knot in your trapezius that's putting pressure on a nerve." She worked the muscle. Jeff's resistance began to melt. It was involuntary. The pain that had been a sharp spike was dulling, spreading out and vanishing under her expert manipulation. His shoulders dropped 3 inches. His jaw unhinged. His eyes rolled back slightly. "Oh, I think it's loosening up," Jeff murmured, his voice dropping an octave. "Yeah, knot's disappearing." "Oh, so's the tension." For a moment, Jeff forgot where he was. He forgot Adam was watching. He forgot Audrey was in the next room. He was just a vessel of pure, unadulterated relaxation. "If you ever get tired with graphic design, you could do this for a living." He slurred slightly, feeling like he was floating in a warm bath. "Well, I did work for a physical therapy clinic for a summer after college, and suddenly, it happened. A physiological betrayal, a reflex, a surge of blood flow that had absolutely nothing to do with the knot in his shoulder and everything to do with the fact that a woman was rubbing him. Jeff's eyes snapped open. Panic, cold and sharp, replaced the relaxation. "Oh!" he yelped. "What?" Jennifer asked, still rubbing. "Oh, no!" Jeff pulled away violently, as if he'd been burned. He turned, hunching over slightly, grabbing a couch cushion to hold in front of his waist area. "All right, well, the rug looks great." "Wow, yeah, I gotta go," he stammered, backing toward the hallway. "I hope you feel better." "Thanks for coming, man. I appreciate the support," Adam said, oblivious to the sudden shift in atmospheric pressure. Jeff fled. He didn't walk. He speed-walked with a hunch, disappearing into the bedroom like a criminal fleeing a crime scene. Chapter 3. The Playground Politics. The playground was a battlefield. To the untrained eye, it was a place of swings and slides, filled with the laughter of children. To Russell Dunbar, it was a gladiator arena where his dignity was currently being fed to the lions. He stood by the chain-link fence, Adam by his side for moral support. Or perhaps as a human shield. "I don't know what Jennifer's talking about," Adam said, scanning the playground. "You're bigger than all these kids." "Again, thanks for the support," Russell snapped. He adjusted his sunglasses, trying to look cool, but the effect was ruined by his anxious scanning of the perimeter. "Oh, there she is," Russell whispered. Across the tarmac, the teacher Katya was supervising a game of kickball. She was stunning, blonde, statuesque, with an air of Slavic mystery that drove Russell insane. "Whoa!" Adam appreciated. "Never had a teacher that looked like that." "Yeah, me neither. With any luck, I'm about to." Russell straightened his tie. "Coast is clear. Let's go." They took 2 steps onto the playground rubber matting when a voice, high-pitched but dripping with malice, cut through the air. "Ah, if it isn't Snow White, back for more." Russell froze. He looked down. Standing there was a boy. He couldn't have been more than 10 years old, with a bowl cut and a polo shirt, but his eyes held the ancient cruelty of a dungeon master. "That's him?" Adam asked, suppressing a laugh. "He's adorable." The kid looked up at Adam, unimpressed. "What's your name, little guy?" Adam asked condescendingly. The kid ignored Adam and locked eyes with Russell. "Who are you, his girlfriend?" Adam blinked. "Very funny." "Yeah, I'm his girlfriend." The kid turned his attention to Russell's hair. "You're pretty enough. What'd you use in your hair? 2 cans of mousse?" Russell's hand instinctively went to his coiffure. "No. dime-sized dollop of gel, the recommended amount. What? Do you keep it in your purse? The kid shot back, rapid fire. Would you rest your makeup in lotion? Oh, kazoo, Russell stammered, flustered.